All right, it is 10/11/2024. I talk about inside candles a lot, and so I wanted to do a quick training. Somebody asked me to explain inside candles. So I'm just going to do a quick run through on it. Now, what an inside candle means is you are consolidating, right, within the previous day's candle or previous time frames candle. This is a 195. So this morning, you guys were asking about Amazon. I said if I was going to play Amazon long, I'd play it as the 195 inside candle. So you had about a 50-50, 60-40 chance of this breaking, and you actually broke up. So do you see this red candle, how you've got a high of 187.75, and then you've got a low here of 186.25, right? And so that's your inside candle. Any questions on this, what an inside candle is? And again, it can be done on any time frame. The lower time frames you go, the more false signals you're going to get, just like on any other edge, like the TPS. But your inside candle is here, and it's an inside candle because you are inside the previous candle's range. Now, does anybody know what causes a TTM squeeze? You know, the when Nate talks about a trend pattern squeeze. Does anybody know what causes this to start squeezing? Yeah, Carmi, I just I don't perform as well on Friday, so I try to avoid it. I love trading anytime I can, but I try to stay away on Fridays. I'm here today because Nate's not here, so I just covering for him. Yeah, so what I want you to pay attention to is what Ab H1 said, right? So here you've got. Let me pull up a squeeze here. Right, this is one that I keep telling you guys looks great. We've played it over and over again. Right, you see this red squeeze we've got going on here? So if I were to come in here and I were to throw in the Keltner bands, so you can see here, I'm going to get rid of these other ones and just have the, and this all goes back to inside candles. But I want you to understand something. Okay, so the blue lines are the Keltner channels. The greenish lines are the Bollinger Bands. Okay, what does the Bollinger Bands measure? So when you're looking at a Bollinger Band, what is this measuring? Yeah, deviation, standard deviation of what? Yeah, it's the range of the 20 EMA, right? So do you see right here where it says your period's the 20, your standard deviation is 2. And so as your price action moves up and down, for the Bollinger Bands to come in real tight like they are here, you have to have some sideways action. And what you want to see happen is you want the Keltner channels. What does the Keltner channel measure? What are we measuring on the Keltner channel? So the Bollinger Bands measure the standard deviation from the 20, but what does the Keltner channels measure? Yeah, so you've got an ATR, right? Multiplier, and what you're basically doing when you have a squeeze is you're saying, hey, your standard deviation from the 20, right? Like this is the 20, right? Is within your ATR multiplier of this 1.5. So to achieve that, what you need is a lot of consolidation sideways action. And do you guys know how I talk about the goal for me on trading is I want to take it from one zone to the next. So I'll have a zone here. This will be zone 2. Zone 1 is below. Zone 3 is above. My goal is to take it from here to here if I'm long, or here to here if I'm short. And then once this happens and we come into what was zone 3, that now becomes zone 2, and then I want to take it to the next zone. So all you're doing here, guys, is you're saying, all right, we understand that through auction theory that you create value levels where people will buy and sell because there's agreed upon value. And then once people come to this conclusion of agreed upon level, you're going to get some type of consolidation. What that does is that gives you legs to push in either direction. And so when you're looking at an inside candle, it's exactly what you're looking at. And so if we were to come over here and we were to look at Amazon and we're looking at the 195, well, what happened? Everybody yesterday said, all right, I agree that value is around this level. All we did was go sideways yesterday. And so what we want to see here is, all right, who's going to win? Are the bulls or the bears going to win? Well, I don't know. If you want to play the trend pattern squeeze, right, you can get in before the break. And so if we were to look at Amazon and we were to say, all right, I want to play this before the breakout, right? Sure, you can take a shot at it because you're in the squeeze. But if you're like, you know what, I don't know who's going to win. I don't know what the trend is. It's kind of sideways. Maybe it's, you know what, I'm just going to wait till everybody in this trade is happy for one way or the other. The shorts are going to be happy because we're going to break down, or the longs are going to be happy because we break up. And so what you're doing is you're saying, all right, as soon as we break out of a range, I want in. And so as soon as we break 187.75, I'm a buyer. If we were to break down 186.25, I'm a shorter, and I'm going to try to take it down, right? And so you play the break of that candle. That's why it's called inside candle break. That's why I call it ICB, right? You want to play consolidation breaking out in a certain direction. Now, I'm telling you the lazy rules right now, then we'll get into the more complicated rules. So once a candle breaks, well, what's the target? Well, you guys tell me, according to technical analysis, if you make a new high, where should your target be? So like, if I'm looking at Nvidia and I'm looking at this quarter candle, if this quarter candle breaks right here, where should we go to? Like in technical analysis, if then, right? If this happens, then this should happen. Yeah, your next candle high. That's technical analysis 101, right? So you break that candle, you go into that candle. So the way that these targets work, the lazy way, is you just want to take it back to the next high. That should be your first target. So on Amazon, you got a 195. You broke. And so your first target should be that candle. And then the other lazy way to do it would be, target 2 would be the high after this high. So where would that be? Oh, right there, right? So all you're trying to do is take it back to make new highs or new lows. Does that make sense? And so this is how you play consolidation that breaks in one way or the other. And so this morning I said, hey, SPY's inside day, right? we're squeezing on the max pain, right? Like, man, the people that sold the calls are going to have to buy. The more it squeezes, the more people have to buy, right? The more people have to hedge their positions. And so it creates this, you know, short squeeze that allows for trajectory buys. And so, boom, you break out of your high of today and you take profits at the next level. We happen to be at all-time highs, so there is no other profit target. You'd have to figure that one out. I would do it through fibs. Now, any questions on the lazy way of doing this? That's simply the concept of trying to understand how things work and why. Now, if there's no questions on that, I'm going to tell you the way that you should play it. ICB works on short time frames. Yeah, you can do it. Like the shortest that I would do it on. So like, look, how many of you guys have TC 2000? I've shared this with you guys a lot, but if you don't have it, this is my master watch list, and what I've got here is I've literally got the TTM squeeze all the way down, right? And then I've got inside candles. So from here to here is all inside candles. And so like right here, right now, I could come in here and I could say, all right, well, is there an inside candle that I would want to play? You know, let's look at the 30 minutes, right? Let's look at the 60 minutes. Let's look at the 78. Let's look at the 130s. And so you can come in here and you can look at these. So like Dash, for example, I know Dash has a beautiful chart. It's had a great TTM setup. Maybe I missed the TTM setup. How many of you guys didn't play Dash even though we said, hey, this is a beautiful chart? Oh, okay, well, crap. Man, I didn't get to play it. Dang. Well, that sucks. Man, is there a way I can get in this? Well, yeah. You know, let's see if we can find some inside candles, right? And so do you see how this candle right here was inside this candle? This candle was inside this candle. And so there's your consolidation breakup. Okay, well, now it's already up. Is there anything on a shorter time frame that I could play? Well, yeah, look, there's a 15 minute. So if you wanted to, you could play the 15 minute inside candle. Now, what I will tell you is, just like on the TTM squeeze, the shorter the time frame, the more false signals you're going to get. Which what that means is the more false breakdowns and then reclaims and breakouts and reclaims that you'll get. The longer the time frame, the less they are. Yeah, I can share this, guys. So if you don't know how to import this, just let me know and I'll walk you through it. But now let's go through the non-lazy way of setting this up. Man, I missed that Tesla pullback. If you're a little bit more aggressive and bought it off the 220, but I wanted a little bit more. So here, let's break down Nvidia, because Nvidia has been my main watch this month, and it's because of the chart pattern, because of the squeezes. Like, do you guys remember I was showing you this TTM squeeze on the weekly on Nvidia, and I was like, man, this thing is beautiful. Let's get it, right? So I see a beautiful chart. I start implementing the edges that I want to play within this chart, and the edges are what keeps me safe so that I can play it and feel calm. So as we're looking at this squeeze and this inside candle, right? So is everybody able to identify this as the inside candle? Everybody sees that, right? Any question on this? So from give me one sec. I'm trying to from this standpoint, the simple, lazy way of doing it is if this breaks, then I should take profits right there, and I should take some more right here. Right, high, high. That's the lazy way of doing it. For me, what I do is I'll come in here and I'll draw these VP levels. So I come in here and I'm like, all right, I understand what technical analysis traders are going to do, but technical analysis traders that only trade with technical analysis usually lose money. I don't want to do that. I want to come in and I want to use the power of volume profile. So then it's like, all right, if we do break out of this candle, if we break out of this red one here, right? Do you guys think there's going to be much resistance between this and this high? Like, to me, it's like, man, why would I take it right there? There's just not a lot of resistance. Where's the majority of the resistance going to come from? Well, I think the majority of the resistance would come from this area, right? And so what I would do is I would come in here and I would say, all right, well, let me go back and look at that particular time frame to see, hey, this is where you should push to before your first rejection. All right, well, let's put that on the box of where that's going to be. That's this box right here. And then I would come in and I would say, all right, let's figure out how detailed of a view I can get of VP. So I'm going to just make VP a little bit more pronounced for you guys. Okay, so I think let's just use this time frame and let's zoom in. Right here. All right, so obviously if you're looking at this, where do you guys see the bulk of the VP? Like what number? Are you guys able to even read the numbers? You guys see this, right? Like that's the bulk. You'll start getting a little bit right here, right? So automatically the first thing that I'm doing is, okay, well I've got hold on, let me see if I can get a little bit more detailed. Boom, there we go. So I've got this point of control, right? We've got point of control at 128. Well, you're going to have some value area low around 127, so 126.80ish. And then you've got your value area high up here around 128.94. Right? Okay, now that I've broken that down, that's really what I want to see us get to by playing this inside week. All right, so let's go back and look, and what we'll have happen here is we'll look at the weekly. Now, man, how much more attractive is this inside week, thinking that I can take this from 120 to 127 versus 120 to 121.50, right? Everybody wants the lazy way of doing things. Oh, high, high, low, low. Yeah, okay, you be lazy, I'll take your money. Thank you. Coming in. No, I'm taking this sucker back to here, right? So does everybody see how I did that? Like, this is where I want it to go. Now, for you guys that have been trading with me for a while, And what I just explained about auction theory, what do I do once we hit this level and I take profits into this level, right? So I buy it, right? It gets up here and I'm selling into this. What do I do? What's my routine? What has to happen for me to get bullish, get bearish? Like, what's the next step? Yeah, so yeah, definitely you're moving your stop up, but what you're doing is you're trying to take it from zone to zone, right? So we just moved up into this other zone. So how does everybody in this zone become happy? What has to happen for everybody in this zone to become happy? Well, price has to get above this last line. If price gets above this last line, I'm willing to buy a retest down to value area low, right? Because this becomes the zone that I'm playing in now, that I want to take it to the next zone. Does that make sense? And so, yeah, I am. I'm recording this, BW. And so, all right, well, let's go ahead and look and see what happened on Nvidia. And this is why I keep telling you guys, do not be in a rush to take profits on Nvidia. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Oh, wow, it's amazing. Oh, it's like I've got a magic candlestick. I can tell you exactly where the chart's going to go. I'm a genius. I'm Nostradamus, right? No, I'm just not stupid, and I do work. I'm not being lazy, right? Okay, well, guess what? We got there. Boom. I love it. It's beautiful, right? Here we go. We made some profits. Now that we've made some profits, it's like, all right, what do we probably need to do since we're hitting this level? We probably need to consolidate again, right? We probably need a little bit more consolidation that's going to allow us to break up and through these people, right? Just think about it from a scale standpoint. If we've got 2 weeks of consolidation versus whatever, half of a week, who's going to win? Well, 2 weeks is going to outweigh half of a week. Baby, you got to jump on at 15? Yeah. Okay. All right, I gotta speed this up here, guys. So, well, amazingly, what happened to Nvidia? Well, we got another inside week. What? Yes, please. Show me that consolidation. I guarantee you got another inside week. That means you got some TTM squeezes going on in here. So now that I know we've already hit this area once, right? How much easier is it going to be able to break through? Remember the statistics. 80-20 rejection here on this first hit. What's the stats on the next hit of this level? Next time we hit this level, what are the stats that it breaks through? Anybody tell me? From the way that I trade, right? First hit, 80-20. Yeah. Second hit's about a 50-50, 60-40, somewhere around there. Third hit's 80-20 break, right? And so now I'm like, oh, okay, well, shoot, if we can hit this level again, not only am I going to be, super excited about it, but maybe it sets up a little U that I can take for even more profits, right? So obviously it broke. We went up this week. So let's look at the actual price action within this week. So this was the high of the previous week. Does that make sense? So if I go back and I show you this weekly chart, right? So that high is right here. So now when I go to the daily, I want you to see that high again. And that is now here, right? Does everybody understand that? So this is our resistance level. For us to take this inside candle, right? For me, again, I personally would take profits into this area off of this inside candle because we're not above them yet. We haven't hit the value area high that said everybody's happy and it's green and good to go. Once that happens, right there, at that point in time, it's like, oh shoot, it's a go. Let's get aggressive, right? Let's get a little aggressive on this because the path of least resistance is up. Does that make sense? And so at that point, it's like, okay, well, shoot. Can we play smaller time frames within this? Can I play a 15-minute squeeze? Can I play a 15-minute, an hourly, a 30-minute inside candle? You know what I mean? Like, that's when it's like, okay, we see the overall bigger picture, and I want to be as aggressive as I can with this to try to take this sucker back to all-time highs. And all of this matches up with my inside month and inside quarter, right? So your inside month is cracking also where? Where's the inside month crack? Oh, it's amazing. It cracked. Oh, I erased the drawing, but it cracked right on our VP level, and then it flows into the inside quarter. So do you guys understand how I go from a very myopic view of 10 minute, 1 minute, 10, 15 minute, hourly, to I'm playing a freaking quarterly chart here, and my eyes are on the big picture. So is it the lazy way? Am I going to be happy with playing an inside week on Nvidia when I take it from 120 to 120, 150? Hell no, or heck no. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna dig this ditch and take $1. I want to dig this ditch and take $40, take $20. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do the work. I want to take the big pie home, right? Okay, so that's how you use inside candles, and you do the same thing on the reverse when you're shorting. Go in and you dig in VP. One thing I want to make sure that everybody understands is anytime that you are playing a breakout or a breakdown, you need to make sure that your risk is controlled. So, for example, this inside candle here, right? This red one that we keep talking about. If this one breaks out, let me see the dates here. Give me one sec. It's not 20. So that would have been here to here. So hold on, what was the first day of that one? So it's 20. So that would have been 24th, 20. So it's 28th. So if you start breaking out of this weekly, I'm not going to set my stop all the way back down here at the bottom of this candle. I'm going to look within this candle, and I'm going to say, all right, where within this candle does the breakout become a failed breakout? And you do that through VP. Once the majority of the VP is back above you, you're done. Right, I'm out, and that's why you want to risk control. Okay,